Hey guys, welcome back to Super League Championships. I'm
Hi.
Cedric Phillips apparently, and I'm joined by Cheon. Uh, I'm eating these delicious nuts as my snack before my match, since Cedric has not shown up. How are you doing, Lee? You just won pretty
Uh,
convincingly.
yeah, I'm the game two. Josh is drawing not so good. He drawing all the counter spell, and yeah, I just draw the Husk and Ileana, and then yeah, his draw is not good. Not matching with my draw, I think.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to be able to do some good things. He had turn 3 mentor, turn 4 mentor, plus magmatic insight, but that was it. That was pretty much the last thing he did, and you wiped his board and then wiped out his life total.
Yeah, in game one, I just I hit the CDC's favor and then combo with the Liliana, and then just run other thing off.
Yeah. What do you think of that matchup in general? Have you played much of it?
I think the I think this version is actually not quite difficult for me.
Yeah.
I think the Mantis Rider version is much more hard for me because the threat is much faster, and yeah, the the Mentor is basically like green white. They try to attack me on the ground, but that plan is not going to work. I think in this matchup.
Are the counter spells usually pretty effective against you? I know he's got a lot after sideboard.
Yeah, I consider Cyborg out some Wally and maybe bring to light and but for other fans but in the end I just put it back. Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad I didn't draw all those payoff spells.
Yeah, you just kind of let out with some creatures, and his hand was a bunch of counter spells he couldn't actually cast, so worked out pretty nicely for you. Our next matchup, I'll wait for it to scroll on the bottom of my screen so I know who it is. All right, Paul Cheon versus Randy Buehler. Paul is, I assume, playing Esper because that's what he does, and Randy is playing
And
a
it's
Tarka Red.
Attacker Red, I think. Yeah.
We can maybe take a look at someone's deck list. All right, Randy Buehler, Tarka Red. So this is a creature-heavy Tarka Red version. He's got McKindy Slide Runners and Yasova Dragonclaw, Flame Lake Phoenix over the tokens. A lot of the other versions playing cards like Dragon Fodder and Hordeling Outburst, but Randy is skewing those and just playing a lot of creatures, which I think actually might make the matchup a little bit better for Esper than it might otherwise be because their spot removal is a little bit stronger. But have you played much with this deck at all?
Yeah, I think the framework this version is built around the cyber plan with framework Phoenix. They try to have some four power creatures like Slyrender and then Cyborg have the hooding Mandrace. And then yeah, he got a different cyber plan than other caret, I think.
You've played the Flame Lake Phoenix in your aggressive red decks before, right? In the last Pro Tour of last season, I think you had the Phoenixes as well.
Yeah, I like Phoenix. Phoenix is very and I mean firing is very good in the format, but you know the attack the Jeskai Blade is so popular now and it does not match up with Mantis Rider very well.
No,
So
not at all. Although the Atarka red deck already struggles a little bit with the Jeskai deck.
yeah, but I think when this cyber is about brought in lots of removal like very impulse and vending volley, make sure they he killed Mantis Rider and then just attack in
Yep.
the air.
Yeah, lots of rending volleys and other fiery impulses. Do we have an update on what's happening? All right, so the match is ready, and we're gonna have Randy Buehler versus Paul Cheon. Hey guys, welcome to round five of Super League Championship. On the top, we have Randy Buehler, Hall of Famer, on a Tarka Red. On the bottom, Paul Cheon, the luckiest man and one of the top 500 Cheons in the entire world on Esper Control. Let's take a look at
It
these opening hands, and what do you see from Randy's opening hand?
Randy's hand is he does not have one job with only one creature and triple Titanic strength.
Yeah.
If the if the 2-1 getting countered by Paul, I think it's pretty. Randy is in a very tough spot.
Right, Randy's hand, he's very tight and strength flooded, and he's got 4 lands, neither of which he wants at all in this matchup. Wild Slash is just a bad card against Esper, and so this is basically if Paul could draw it up exactly what he wants to see, a perfect opponent's hand for what he has. This is pretty close to it. Randy's got one threat. Paul's got Clash of Wills, and he's going to get to start developing his mana without any threat whatsoever on the other side of the board.
Yeah,
Then he just
Crash
has
of
a
Will
second
is
Clash of Wills.
Crash of Will is very good. For Paul on the play. I mean, if he is on the draw, the Crash of Will is like doing not really good. But
Yeah.
Randy does not have one job and he has only one threat. So I think
Right.
Paul is in a good shape for this game. At least he's not going to get rushed over by Randy.
Right, he even has a Clash of Wills for the next threat, and he's got Utter End, which is a little slow for the matchup, but Randy's draw is so mediocre. He just can't do anything right now. That the Clash of Wills is looking pretty fantastic. The Utter End's looking fantastic. And interesting, like Ruinous Path is pretty weak in this matchup. Atarka Red, of course, goes for the combo finish, and so having a sorcery speed removal spell not exactly what you want, but if your opponent's going to have a bunch of like McKinsey slide runners and other creatures that don't have haste or are coming out a little bit slower, that this Ruinous Path is probably going to get value later on in the game.
Yeah, we see Randy does not go for the airport at turn 2 and even turn 3. I think he's playing around all the counter spell, maybe remove those from Paul. But that's only because he does not have enough red for his draw. Which
Right, I mean,
is
he's waiting to try to play around things, but things don't tend to get better when you're playing against a control deck like Paul's. And so Paul's just got to be sitting here just confused. Like, my opponent kept flipping cards on the draw and didn't play a 1 or 2 drop in their aggro deck. Like, well, what is happening?
maybe Randy is trying to cast 2 threats in a turn.
Yeah, that's what I would be thinking if I was Paul. Like, okay, well, he's setting me up for a big turn right now, but he's about to find out, no, that is not what's happening at all.
So now,
He did draw a Swift Spear,
okay,
so we have lag on Randy's hand. The Bloodstained Mire's gone, the Abbot's gone, and the Swift Spear that he drew is now in play. Paul's
yeah,
gonna, I'm not sure
and he
what
can
Paul's gonna want
get
to do.
out one of his Titanic strength at least.
Yeah,
Get some
that's pretty
value from
good.
it.
You can't get much more value than getting 4 damage for 1 mana plus a scry, and you may not even have another target for that card. Can we get confirmation on whether you scry to the top or bottom?
No, we can't see it.
So no, we cannot.
Okay, so Paul.
In the game, in the chat, it says Randy Buehler scries or Moss Dog. No, right now on the Titan Strength.
Okay.
Well, he
So
either scried to the top or the bottom. And Paul's got a decision. If he casts Ruinous Path, he actually is leaving the shields a little bit down. He could get combo killed by potentially just another Swift Spear into Temur Battle Ragent to become immense. If Randy had a 5th land. Randy does have a 5th land. He just doesn't have any of those other cards right now. An Abbot here would be really good for Randy. Our Bell Striker is going to be some damage at least. See if
so
Randy goes all in with Titan Strengths or not.
I think Paul's list does not have instant removal with 2 mana.
It would be surprising if he had no ultimate prices whatsoever, but it's definitely possible. I mean, I think he probably has to play into those anyway, because it's not like it's going to get better later on. But
That's
yeah,
true.
he has 2 copies of ultimate price,
Okay.
but that is it.
Yeah, but
Right.
Randy have to go for it because there's no. Yeah, he need to get the value out of the Titanic strength. I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, Titan Strength doesn't exactly scale later on in the game unless you have Teamer Battle Rage, but you can't really count on that against an Esper deck that's just full of tons of instant speed removal and potentially, just other removal that might take down your creature before you're able to use it.
True. So now after the first Titanic Strength, Paul does not have. He find out Paul does not have the ultimate prize. So yeah, if Paul have it, he will cast before the squad. So yeah, he just fire off the third Titanic Strength.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now it's yeah. Let's see Paul how to play with it. I think he drew the ranch.
Yeah, this is definitely a decision point where he can, play Gideon, make a creature, leave up Clash of Wills for one. Not that that does much right now. He can play Gideon, make a creature, and play Shambling Vents and hope that things go the way he wants them to next turn. If Randy has, let's say, a Become Immense or some way to deal 3 damage on top of his deck, he's just going to win the game, though.
True. Or maybe Attacker's Command. He
Tarkus
got
Command,
the Wild Slash
absolutely.
in his hand.
I would also do it. Don't know if he scryed to the top or bottom.
Yeah. I mean, this is the turn. Next turn, Paul can go Emblem and then activate the Shambling Ramp and then start to
So,
getting his life up.
yeah, this was the big turn where Randy really needed to hit something. Yeah, I don't know whether Paul will actually do that to Emblem and go for Shambling Vents because you are running the risk of, if he has a Tarkus Commanda, of dying to a few things. That
Okay.
could prevent the gain of life. And if he leaves up the Clash of Wills and just continues to press his Gideon advantage, that might be better for him. I mean, he knows one of the cards is Sergo Bellstriker. If Randy ends up playing this Foothills, he knows that he's not really in a lot of danger. That a Tarkus Command is the one thing to play around. Perhaps running a Tarkus Command, so leaving up Clash of Wills might be where he wants to do.
Yeah, the other night could be start activating Gideon.
Mhm.
Attack full. No, it's only a 3 turn clock. So uh, I think leaving out the mana for Crash of Field is is still good.
Well, if he whatever he does with Gideon this turn, he could play Shambling Vents, and next turn, if Randy doesn't play a land, he can activate the Shambling Vents and still have Clash of Wills mana up to counter an Atarka's command, which would put the game potentially out of reach.
True.
If it's not a Tarkus command that he has, and instead it's Teamer Battle Rage plus um, Become Immense, then he'll still have the mana to cast Utter End next turn as well if he goes Vents and the next turn plays Flooded Strand. So um, if he plays it that way, he's in great shape to win the game. Plus, in Gideon's fine. I think he should attack with just the Gideon, leave back the Knight.
He attacked with also the soldier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more aggressive, but he's not really in much danger when he's got Utter and Clash of Wolves. He knows one of the cards is Zergo. I just wouldn't want to have to tap any mana to do anything, basically. Like, I don't want. If my opponent dashes in Zergo Bellstriker, I don't want to activate my Shambling Vents and perhaps have my shields down from burn spells,
True.
but he's pretty safe.
Yeah, Randy's choice not so good. I think he hit another land.
Well, he already had the Foothills in hand, and we're lagged to see what his draw from this turn actually
Okay.
was. He did play the Foothills from last turn. He may have drawn another one, not sure, but
Yeah, looks like yeah the attack with the 2/2 is making this really hard for Paul.
well, don't see this very often. Dashed in a Bell Striker and then
Pass the turn.
didn't attack.
Yeah.
Not like not dashing this helps very much. Zergo Bell Striker, of course, can't actually block, but
So now Randy dash circle and then not attacking, which is kind of showing the weakness from him. like saying his hand is not really good.
Well, I think Paul can be pretty safe that his hand's not very good. He also knows one of the three cards is Zirkle Bellstricker, which is
Yeah,
not very good.
but at least Randy cannot attack the circle into the man end. So yeah, his hand must be pretty awkward, I think. For for what Paul might find out. And then now the Gideon putting Randy to 5. So next turn, if Randy still got nothing, then it's the. I think Paul is should have the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now Randy doesn't even have a creature that could block Gideon if he wanted to.
Yep.
Well, maybe he's hoping Paul doesn't know that.
I mean, Paul still attack with Gideon.
Yeah. I would expect him to.
Mm,
There's the
yep.
plus, and
Yeah,
I
it's over.
assume that'll do it. I don't know what's in Randy's hand. The last card is currently a mystery, but I imagine it cannot deal with this.
Okay. Yeah, I think Randy's opening 7 is pretty awkward right there.
His opening 7 is pretty close to just being bad. Just a 2-drop, which there are a lot of answers to out of Esper, especially if you're not planning on even playing it on turn 2. It's pretty rough, and he had a bunch of Titan strengths that, honestly, I think he got kind of lucky. He got 10 damage out of 3 Titan strengths, which
Yeah,
is
that's
not
true.
very common to have that happen against Esper, but that still wasn't enough. Paul was able to take game 1. Which is a tough game to win for this Esper deck. He gets a lot of cards after sideboard. Looks like there's some Erishing Cleric, some Surge of Righteousness. Let's see. He's got a
He's
Languish.
spotting
He's got
out all the Planeswalkers, I think, except Gideon.
3 Erishing Cleric and 2 Surge of Righteousness is a lot of really good cards. Classic Wills he's taken out doesn't really do very much on the draw.
Yep. Let's see how Randy do it.
If
I
you
think
look at Paul's
Randy
deck
will.
right now, like look how low his curve is. He's got 4 dig through times at the top, which could be 2-mana spells, a handful of 4-mana spells, but his interaction is cheap, which is, kind of what you need against a deck that's really aggressive.
True. And Randy right there is spotting out. He is spotting in the framework Phoenix package, I think.
hmm Yeah, cards like, does he have a Fiery Impulse in the main deck, or is that just in his sideboard? He has 1 Fiery Impulse in the main deck. You have to board out some of the combo cards. Like, after sideboard, Paul already has, like, Ultimate Prices, Complete Disregards, a bunch of Sweepers, Utter Ends, and he gets to have, like, Negate, Dispel, and multiple Surge of Righteousness, so it's
Yeah.
tough to go all in. Like, we
Those
already
pump
saw...
spell are a liability for Randy, I think.
Yeah, we already saw how tough it was against 2 mana to cast your Titan Strengths before, and now there's Surge of Righteousnesses on top of that.
True. I think Randy still have to keep in some Wild Slash for Jace.
Yeah, Wild Slash is also just can deal 2 damage, so not the worst.
Yeah.
Against the versions of this deck that play Dragon Lord Ojutai, he can bring cards like Rending Volley. Here they only hit Jace, so not the most exciting.
Yep. And Paul seems want to keep the Silamga. Okay, let's see.
Interesting. Taking out Anticipate. I didn't anticipate that happening, I'll tell you that. Not for 6 drops, but
Yeah, I think giving Anticipate is quite good. You can open mana and we can open mana for the removal, and then if your opponent not doing anything, you can still try to go smooth.
All right, I definitely would not have thought to take out Anticipate, but
Yep.
here we are. Paul has the hand that he wants. He's got Jace. He's got two Airson Clerics. His man's a little awkward to be able to play Vents turn 1. He might not be able to play Jace till turn 4, but Jace isn't really that great in this matchup. There tends to be a number of ways to actually kill it, but once it gets going, it's pretty good. Although he might be able to cast Jace with the rest back up too.
Yeah, I mean his hand now is actually quite good. The Jace looting event may not be that important at this point. He got land, he got the Cleric now, and then Juras is very good against Attacker Red.
Yeah. So he's just going with the Tarkus command right away on turn 2.
Yeah, I think he want to get value from the Attacker's command, and then he tried to cast the egg as soon as possible.
Yeah, I guess if he wants to get the Mandrels online, that's not a play you see too often. Of course, we can't really see Randy's hand because he hasn't popped out his graveyard and the lag is incredible. But based on his opening hand, it would make some sense. I mean, Paul's going to snap block here. Whatever happens, happens.
Looks like Randy drew another circle.
That's still the Zergo from his opening hand. Oh, he did draw another Zergo, you're right.
Another circle and another
Another Hooling Manters, as
yeah.
Gerard would call it.
Yeah. If he got he hit a fresh land, he can cast it turn 3, but yeah, now looks like he's casting it turn 4 and then stuck with another one in his hand.
Well, the good news for him is that Paul's Duress is currently dead. That's pretty much all of the good news. Is Paul's at 20 life right now.
Yeah.
Although if Paul doesn't draw lands, his hand doesn't do much. Surge does not stop a Hooling Manters. This Duress. Well, if Randy drew an Atarkus command or something, that would be pretty great for Paul. He would love to actually hit off this, but Randy's hand currently has nothing, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Hooting Mandrels, I guess I should actually call it a true name. And Zergo Bellstriker are the only cards in hand that we know about. The other two got played last turn, waiting on the lag.
The Hooting Mandrels is actually quite good here. We can see, yeah, Paul having the surge and does not do anything right here, I think.
I mean, it's good, but by the same token, it still dies to Languish. It's slow, and it's only 4 damage. Like I say only 4, but Paul's at 20. Like that's not a fast clock. Like Paul could take a few hits here.
True.
If that Jace flips, it becomes a 2/4 that gets shut down by these Airson Clerics. Although Flamewake Phoenix is a pretty good one.
Yep.
I assume he's going to double block his Zergo here. This attack.
I think he just want to send the Zergo to graveyard.
Just to get it in the graveyard because he's got another one. And makes it easier to delve out the other Mandrels.
Yeah.
No, Paul just keeps bricking. Gets another shot. Try to find a land here.
Nope.
All right, that's not the worst.
Complete disregard is quite good against Phoenix.
Yeah, I assume he wants to main phase this against a deck that has a bunch of pump spells. That's what is it? Power? I'm not sure exactly.
Power 3 or less.
It's casting cost. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, cast it right away. Yeah, it's a better option.
Oh no, it is power. Okay.
I mean, he's going to cast it anyway in the before in Randy's turn before damage.
Yes, I imagine he wants to cast it now and not get blown out by Titan Strength, right?
Yeah.
Definitely think that's a misstep. I'm not sure why you would not want to do that.
And he casting now. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, if Randy drew Titanic Strength, it will be so punished.
Yeah. Double block here. This is smart. With the trample damage, there's basically no reason not to double block. And right now, you know he doesn't have Titan Strength because he would have just gotten blown out by it.
But it's like telling Randy you have Languish, by this play, or yeah, maybe he's just trying to show, yeah, want to flip Jace maybe. And now it's the other who think
Paul would
Randy's.
do pretty much anything for a fetch land here, so he can flip Jace and then Castle Anguish. That would be an incredible turn. Well, I think he'd
Any
settle
land
for
for
just casting Languish.
Paul?
And he's bricked on land. How many cards is this? It's
Okay,
one
he
too late, but still reasonable. So not the dream of flip Jason and then Castle Anguish, but
yeah.
oh, is there? I
Yeah,
missaw
he got
River.
5 cards in the graveyard.
That,
Yeah,
I thought
the
that duress
duress.
was. I thought the duress was the label. It was so dark. Wow. Okay, never
So
mind.
this is a very good turn for Paul.
This is fantastic. That's my fault. I'm
But
looking at too small a screen. And thought duress was where it said humph.
I think the game is over.
Oh, this game's over.
With two removal in hand and then a deck through time and a 6 loyalty Jace with Randy only one hand in yeah, one card in hand.
Oh, I agree with you. The one card is not a particularly good one, as Jace just shuts it down by himself. And there's another land. So
Yeah,
this could take quite a bit of time, but Paul's not losing this game.
I think Jace
And
could
there's the
go
dig through
make
time
this.
mana.
Well, yeah, Paul drew the second blue mana and then he can go with deck through time now. So
Yep. Lucky Cheon just has it all. Type 1 in the chat if you're surprised.
okay, Randy hit another land. No, he can't do much right now. So let's see. I think Paul have not much win condition right here, but
The Jace
yeah,
is a win condition, honestly.
maybe that's the reason he kept the Silumga.
Sure.
Yeah, he got a Silumga.
He just wants to end it quicker. I imagine there were probably better cards he could have taken off that dig, but the game is over.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have. Oh, I guess he boarded out a lot of his Awaken, huh? He like Planar Outburst, I think, came out.
He only have 2 Gideon and 2 Silumga in the deck now. As win
Right, the
condition.
Ruinous Path and the Planar Outburst he sideboarded out, which are potentially win conditions, but not now.
Maybe that's the reason he keeping the Juggernaut Silumga.
I mean, it is a big body. He does expect that Randy's going to board in Hooting Mandrills, and it's decent against like Flame Lake Phoenix and things like that. Although Paul's deck has plenty of good answers to that. He's got Silk Wraps, Utter End, Complete Disregards,
True.
all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, the frame rate plan seems not so good because people are playing Silwrap or Complete Disregard for Hangerbad or
Yep.
for Jace. So
And
now,
even this weekend, it's tons and tons of Stasis Snares now too.
yeah.
Lots of exiling.
So, Leiling Berserker. Nah. I think it's just only the matter of time for Paul to win this game.
I agree. I mean, Paul can just flashback dig through times if he wants to, and he's going to.
Yeah, that's what he's going to.
His Shambling Vents down there too. Plethora of Life. 4 removal spells. Yeah. It's all
Can I see what Paul have?
well,
I think Paul is trying to trying to find another clock, maybe in terms of Gideon.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking at the top 7 cards. If one is from an Uno deck and the other one's a napkin, he's going to win pretty easily. It's just Ojutai's command, anticipate, dig, Jace,
Gideon.
Gideon,
So he have it all.
napkin, Uno card. Yep, he hit it. Paul wisely leaving back the small creature to block a dashed creature. Not that it matters in the slightest.
With his
I
hand.
guess in the slightest.
Well, another.
Another mandrels? Wow. Oh, not actually going to do anything against these 6 cards, but that was a pretty decent draw.
Well, nah. Even the forward. I mean, we can see the forward trample actually. The sideboard or the removal from Paul is not really good against the forward trample. But still, he does it does not do much thing here.
Yeah, I don't think Paul actually has many copies of things like Languish. He has none in the main deck and only one in the
I think
sideboard. So
yeah, that's why Randy just run into it.
he does have
Maybe
things like Ojutai's command and a lot of the creatures, like if they end up dying to like complete disregard, or I guess that's the only thing that really exiles. So it's an interesting plan. It's just it's a little clunky. Like the deck just doesn't have that many cheap creatures. I guess Randy's playing 8 1-drops, but 4 of them are Zergos, and so like we saw, sometimes you just draw 2 Zergos, and it's not like
yeah.
having multiple 1-drops. And only 8 2-drops as well, and 3 3-drops in the main deck. So there's just not a lot of action. There's only 19 creatures in this deck, and the Esper deck has a lot of removal spells.
And yeah, this version does not have the the dragon floater, which make delve not as easy as the the dragon floater, the token version.
Right.
Yeah, we see another Finwick, but yeah, it's going to seal up anyway, I think. Yeah,
All inching his way towards victory.
pick 4-5.
Yeah, I think he can
Nope.
get in for 5 this turn, but
He's enjoying the
Paul
game.
being the man that he is going to milk the camera time. An entertainer at heart.
Yeah. Try to catch his moment in
It
the
is
game.
technically correct to not be attacking with the Swift Spear, but it would end the game a turn faster. All right, now the vents are going to get in
Okay,
there.
he is going to activate the man then.
And with Negate and Dispel in hand, in addition to everything else in the world, Paul feels safe on this one.
The matchup is not really what I expect. I think Red could have a good matchup against the control, but
Yeah,
No
I mean,
choice.
you just need to be able to curve out. We saw last week Randy was able to go one drop into two drop into one drop, two drop on turn three, and just have four creatures on turn three out there, and that's going to be tough for a lot of decks to beat, especially because you die before you actually cast Languish. Of course, the deck only has 19 creatures, so the odds of actually having a draw like that are pretty low. And so,
Yeah.
when you curve out and you have a bunch of Swiss Spears, the deck looks pretty fantastic, and when you don't, well, that's what happens. All right, so
Okay.
that wraps up round five. Paul Cheon is the winner, 2 games to 0, and I think there's that Paul may have clinched the playoffs just based on the tiebreaker being uh, games like I'm not sure what the tiebreaker are, but I think Paul might have won both his matches 2 games to 0. So he's in great shape, a good chance to advance to the elimination rounds if he hasn't already locked it up. And we have one more match tonight, and so you should probably stay tuned for that. And thanks for joining me, Lee, and
Yeah.
have a good morning.
Thanks.
And for the rest of you, have a good night.
I'm going to work now.